Hey everyone, it's Drew Dillon from Project Lift, and in this week's video, we're going to look at how to split jerk here in Olympic weightlifting. So if you're new to the jerk, you're going to love this video. If you've been doing the jerk for a while and it's just going shitty for you, you're going to love this video. And if you've been doing the jerk for a while and it's been going great, leave a comment and help others out, telling them what you've learned and if anything vibes for you in this video. So if you're watching this video, I imagine you want to get better at your Olympic lifts. And if that is so, I want you to check out our free guide, How to Improve Your Olympic Lifts Now. It'll support you here today on improving them. It's free, guys. Check it out. You'll love it. Once this video helps you, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, pay it forward, send it to a friend, and subscribe because new videos are coming each week. So as we get into the jerk, let's talk about the setup. And inside the setup, I have a few different areas I want to talk about. And that's specifically the rack position, how we're holding this weight up here at the chest to start the movement off, and our legs, specifically two components of our legs. At the start, where our legs are underneath us and we have our weight towards our heel. And then also, we're going to look at the split position itself, where to be and how to be there. Looking at the rack position. Now the rack position has a few key points I want to highlight for you. Number one, we need to create a shelf for this bar to sit on using our shoulders. And when I say that, I want you to take your shoulders and feel yourself pull them forward. Feel yourself create a shelf by pulling those shoulders forward. And a number of you are going to suffer from some tightness in this position to be able to keep your hands underneath the bar. Now, a little caveat for you, those that suffer with this mobility, look at the tricep and look at the lat. Those are two areas that are often missed. Everybody wants to stretch their wrist. Wrist and forearm are important, don't get me wrong, but tricep and lat, open those up and you'll be surprised how well this opens up. So once we've created a rack position, this bar is sitting on us, our hands are underneath the bar. The more that we can keep the bar in the palm of our hand, the better. If it rolls to your fingertips, okay. However, if fingers start coming off this bar, it's gonna be awful challenging to jerk, not getting your fingers stuck underneath the bar and crimpled up. Get them fingers under the bar, work to get your palm on the bar. Now with our hands, they're relaxed. Wiggle those fingers. We came up to you and you're in a rack position, you should be able to grip onto your forearm and it should be pliable. You should be able to move. So moral of the story, we're not death gripping the bar. Open the fingers, relax. Now in this position, our core is critical. Our core is that solid column connecting the bar to our legs. So we need to have those ribs down, good pressure throughout the core, creating this beautiful rack position to where we're set, ready to go. The legs in the start position are the second thing I want to hit on in the setup. Now the legs are underneath us. And we can go to World Weightlifting, we can watch world weightlifters all day long, and you're going to see legs at a variety of different positions. Some people stand up with the clean, keep their feet right where they are, they're more of a wider set, and then they go from there. Other people move their feet underneath them. I'm a component of that. I'm a fan of that. It really allows us to get more use out of our hips and legs when they're a little closer together. It's amazing as you're bringing them in how the feeling, the sensation in the body feels like they're much closer than they typically are. So if you're training alone, use a video to make sure you're getting your feet underneath you. I want those feet under your hips. Bring those feet under your hips, turn your toes slightly out, and find your weight towards your heel. Now the full foot stays flat on the ground here. Find your weight towards your heel and lock your legs. Now we are set. Legs are locked, weight towards the heel, beautiful rack position. You are ready to give it the magic. Let's move on and talk about what in the world happens when our legs split. All right, the split position. What in the world is this? How do we find it? So I have an old technique that we could do. If you're brand new to this, bring your feet together, let yourself lean forward like you're doing that trust game where you lean backwards and someone's gonna catch you behind, except you're gonna do it forward, no one else is there. You're gonna have your feet together, you're gonna lean forward and let yourself go to fall forward and see what leg comes out to save you. Now, whatever leg comes out to save you, we can say is your front leg in your split. Is this scientifically valid? Absolutely not. In fact, it really has no rhyme or reason other than it was just an old technique people used to use when new lifters would come in. So this is a good starting point. I kid you not, even though that sounded like a joke. This is a good starting point. ultimately it comes down to comfort. So notice that the Olympic lifts, the jerk itself, when I say comfort, things are awkward. So keep that in mind, but whatever leg that came out to save you first, use this one first. Try it out for a while. You can try the opposite setup as well. What one feels better to you? That's how we find it. Now, looking at the key points here, if I had to do a ratio of distance between our legs, think of the back foot moving 6 inches and the front foot moving 1.5 feet, right? So that's like a 1-to-3 ratio, right? Where that front foot moves further than the back foot. And this is typically opposite of what you see from many lifters who are starting. It feels very comfortable to shoot that back foot way far behind us. We need to get it down close to our body and quickly so we're able to step through with that front leg. Now, once we get those feet set, think of that front leg having a vertical shin, right? That back leg, the knees unlocked, we're up on our toe, and 60% of weight, the majority of our weight is in that back thigh. So these key points, I hope they help you. And let's go on to the execution of this movement. All right, executing this movement, we're going to start with the dip. So here we are. We're in our beautiful rack position that we have set up. Our weight's towards our heels, our legs are locked. When our legs unlock, I want you to think about letting your knees go towards your sides. Push your knees out towards the sides a little bit as you dip. This is going to help you stay straight up and down when you dip. This is critical. If we let the knees just go forward over the toes, very, very often that shifts the weight towards our toes, the bar shifts towards our toes, and now we've just created forward movement in a movement that we want the bar to move straight up and down. So pushing the knees out when we dip is an excellent, excellent cue that can help us stay back. Now at this point in our execution, we're moving into the drive. And here we're going to punch through our legs, through our feet. We're driving all the way up through the ball of the foot. So here we're punching through. Now let me take the dip and the drive and bring them together, because here's the whole benefit of the movement, okay? Smooth dip, quick drive. Smooth dip, quick drive. Remember that. If you go quick, quick, and the bar separates from you on your dip and then crashes back into you on your drive, you're messing with the whole benefit of the movement. The whole benefit is the bar and us move together, and then all of a sudden my legs drive, bar goes springing back up, right? So that's the kicker when we look at the dip and drive. Unlock smooth, drive quick. Now once we've driven, the third thing here in our execution is again drive. We're using our arms to drive ourselves underneath the bar. Now personally, my favorite cue for this is drive through the bar. I used to pretend it didn't even exist, and I just drove through the bar to that split position. Now, driving under the bar, using our arms to drive under the bar, wasn't the way that I thought of it, but a lot of athletes correspond with that because the bar's pushing us down. The caveat I want to put in this for you is if you're thinking you need to drop down to a certain point, you're going to beat the bar and it's going to crash on you. Let yourself drive through the bar, right? Or use the bar to drive under to meet the bar immediately in your split. And recovery. So here we're going to bring our front foot back first. Now this takes into account that you landed well and your back foot, your back leg has 60% of your load, front foot has 40%. Front foot steps back first, back foot steps forward second, and we're bringing our feet in line. Now if all your weight on the jerk is in your front leg, you're gonna have to step your back leg forward first. This is a telltale sign that you need to keep your weight back in the heel during the dip and stay back during the drive. You're sending that bar forward and your momentum's going forward. So all your weight's on your front leg, which makes you much less able to adjust. If anything comes up, you're really using a lot of energy. You're fighting for that jerk. So again, we need to bring those feet in line. That's critical in competition because our feet need to be in line to complete the lift, and it's good practice in training. So I hope this helped you. Guys, below, I want you to share where are your questions around the jerk. Did this support you? Anything new? And on that, guys, question I have for you is Chelsea and I have been talking about this for a little bit, and I might even have mentioned it on this channel before, but it keeps coming up. And we're looking at creating the ultimate weightlifting course for you to be able to complete that breaks things down into detail. And you can watch it as many times as you need to learn these movements in a super detail-oriented way specific for you. Some of the stuff I've seen out there is just junk. It absolutely is. And how many athletes come to us and the adjustments we make, it's silly that so many athletes haven't learned this stuff from the start. And I'm curious, would this support you? Would you be interested if we made this ultimate guide? So let me know. That will help us. Please comment below if it would, if that's something you'd like to see. And until next week, good luck.